Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Glenda's Dragons Den. LD is on a mission again, and he will be back soon. But in the meantime, I we have a great, phenomenal guest who's got a beautiful soul, beautiful personality, who I was blessed to meet through Galactic Alliance, which used to be Wish at that time.
Yeah.
Hi, April.
Hi,
How are
Glenda.
you?
Good.
Good. So, our audience really probably some of them have not ever heard about you because it was such a long time ago that you were we were there. And why don't you tell our audience all about you and how you
Thank,
got here?
thank you, Glenda. I want to thank you very much for inviting me here today. And I am a visual artist, and I live on beautiful Vancouver Island. And I've lived all across this country, coast to coast. Um, and I had early retirement in my 40s.
Mhm.
So I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I filled my time with painting and drawing, and it's something I've always done my whole life. Even my natal chart says I'm an artist, so there's no disputing. I remember in kindergarten, the first time they brought out finger paints and how excited I was, and unfortunately, painting in school is always a special event. And so I used to bug the teachers all the time. Can we paint today? Can we paint today? And sometimes they gave in, most of the time not. But yeah, so I've always painted, always drawn. When I was 13, I got involved in life drawing, which is really amazing, um, to train the eye to really see, not just to, like, we look and we assume a lot of information, but to train the eye to really see is amazing. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm able to get so many photographs. I personally get photographs of UFOs, orbs, angels, a whole bunch of stuff that we don't, it's a big question mark what they are, but they're fun.
Right?
And today I'm going to share personal art that would never go in a gallery or anything. But this is how I spend my time, besides my serious work. And I'm just really excited to share it because there's always a story behind it. Um, I've been working with experiencers since I've met you, Glenda, and I've been doing drawing classes specifically for the experiencer. We're kind of a segmented population that's really isolated.
Hmm.
And by drawing our experiences frees up our energy and time. A lot of parents, they don't want to write their story, or they're very cautious. They don't want their children to. So I said, draw it. A picture's worth 1,000 words. We could start with the
Hmm.
presentation if you want.
Okay.
So I curated a whole bunch of artwork that is from my private collection, and so this is a new painting technique that I'm doing. It's digital, so it's a whole new world that I've opened up. I personally enjoy doing oil painting, and it's quite a process. So digital is fun and fast, but there's limitations because it's not 3D. And so, yeah, you can go on to the next one. That represents heliopatic energy. Now, I couldn't come to Glenda's Dragon Den without showing you a dragon. So this is a personal drawing I did after I came back from Mexico. I went to a place called the Temple of the Wind, and there was a small white dragon, um, there. Like, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I definitely did. And it was sitting on the edge of part of the archaeological site, and it looked at me, and I looked at it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. So that's why I drew this painting. She is a female and pure white. So yeah,
Beautiful.
I had to throw that in for you.
Thank you.
A dragon. Yeah. Can you
Uh,
go to the next one?
uh-huh.
Okay, so this is an example that a lot of people can do. This is like a doodle. So
Mm.
I recommend people doodling every day, even when you're having your cup of coffee in the morning, just doodle because it's like brain exercise and memory. The benefits also like you're formulating ideas in your subconscious, or your subconscious is talking to you, but you don't really want to pay attention. Doodling will help. So this is a drawing of an apple tree, and for some reason I chose to put 12 orbs in them or
Mm-hmm.
around, and then a parallel tree behind it. So that's how I kind of see the universe and our world. And they're
Very
all
nice.
lovely words. Yeah, can you go to the next one?
There we go. It's coming.
Okay, so this is a very serious drawing. This is a recent one. It probably took a week to do this drawing, and what it is I sent out a portion of my consciousness, and I wanted to see um, records. They talk about the Aztec records and all this,
Right.
so I wanted to see them too, right? Well, this is what I came up with. This is what I saw, and it's actually like a Rosetta Stone. It's 3 languages represented here, and
Mm-hmm.
the top one is like a dial, and I saw it always moving, and the one going up the book or carpet or whatever you want to. I could kind of understand that one. And below the cube, beyond me, and the cube, the reason why I drew the cube in there was to represent how I see everything in grids.
Mm-hmm.
And, everything's a frequency, everything's forever. So, like, try to hook on one and carry your consciousness through. So, that's why that's there. I try to create as much movement, I try to describe it in the best that I could. It's limited because it's graphite. So, but it was really challenging, and it just shows you the possibility,
It
because I,
definitely, it's definitely beautiful, and it has a lot of detail. And even the light language is understandable if you just be open to it. You'll be able to get a sense of what it's saying. So
yeah,
you
yeah, but
did it
it's like
wonderful.
the dial thing was, really threw me off. It was like, okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna draw what I see. So,
there
and
you
then
go.
I add more. Like I wanted to explain how I got it. That's why I put that little cube as a graph representation of a graph, how we can project our
Beautiful.
consciousness. Yeah. You can go to the next one. Okay. I take a lot of photographs of paranormal,
Hmm.
and my favorite kind of photographs are taken by my motion detection camera.
Hmm.
Because quite often they involve me. They'll have a picture of me interacting with the phenomena. So here, I just trace around the photo, and then I added color. So
Nice.
this was the trail camera took a picture of this being on my couch, and above was a huge black hole in the ceiling.
Hmm.
It's a very strange photo, um, and rare, I would think too. But
Hmm.
she definitely had a headdress on with like a snake,
Hmm.
and I sense female. Now it could even be me, going into light and going through the ceiling. Who knows?
Right.
And this is what we want to learn too. That's why these photographs are really important to us. And there's people all around the world just gathering wonderful, wonderful photographs. So you could kind of see the photo behind, but I think it's really beautiful and unexpected. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very beautiful.
Okay, go to the next one. Okay, I gotta go into the UFO world
So,
because I do take a lot of photos of
okay,
UFOs.
that I gotta see now.
Okay, so this one, this is a phenomenon that's really popular all around the world. Doing a CE5 event where people gather, have a
Mhm.
common goal. They want to have conscious contact with outsiders. They want to have peaceful contact. So this is just me thinking about these people, and you could just subliminally see there's beings that they're looking at. The fire orb is something that I see and I videotaped. They're pretty amazing. So that's why I added that. But yeah, that's just fun art,
Yeah,
But there's like subliminal messages. So we're talking about the technology and the people and the cell phones, and there's like a whole story going on here. So yeah, it's just fun to do. Yeah, you can go to the next one. Okay, this is really important. This image, and I encourage again experiencers to put down on paper, even if it's thick, 1,000 words. So this is a couple of years ago. My friend and I went to the beach, and where we parked was higher than the beach.
Mm.
And so as we were going down, we saw this UFO, plain as day, hovering above a crowd. The beach was full of people, children, animals, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, but there was people on paddle boards. The water was beautiful. This is kind of like the landscape that I'm in. And nobody noticed. And it was just hovering over all of
Wow.
us. And we did get a photo before it took off. And it was conscious of us. It was conscious that we noticed.
Mhm.
But the hundreds of people that were there didn't notice, which I find really shocking because I have gone into situations like that before. And so my theory, my hypothesis is that they emit some kind of frequency.
Right.
So this is why I added, innocently, this woman's with her child and dog at the beach. Meanwhile, there's this UFO lurking above them. What the heck is going on? So I took the photo, and then I used my remote viewing skills to get more detail because, these photos are
Right.
really into script, right? You
Right.
definitely could say yes. And there was two of us that saw it, and this was daytime. Now, why all the people on the beach? I mean, I was looking up and down for remote controllers. I just couldn't believe my eyes. And
Well,
and and believe me, the next time this happens, if it does, I'm going to make such a fuss. I'm going to point. I'm going to scream. I'm going to get everybody to notice because what the heck is going on? Why
well,
aren't they
you're
noticing?
you're open to it. You have always accepted the fact that there's more out there than what we have been
Hmm.
shown. So people are just blinded. They
Yeah, I
just
think
close
they,
their eyes.
an interesting fact about the human eye, and I learned this as an artist,
Mhm.
is that we only see 10% of our environment. We only have three cones. So what the heck is going on all around us? I always wonder. So and as a trained artist, we do see more.
Mhm.
I do notice that visual artists, um, any movement that we're acutely aware of. So, but this is my first saucer that
Wow.
I've seen.
Very
And so I took the photo and I remote viewed it to give it more of the detail. It's
right.
very interesting. So, and just the whole setting is a little unsettling to me. Families are at the beach, idyllic day. And then what the heck? How often is this happening? These are all the questions I have, right? So,
Yeah,
anyways,
that
yeah.
that I could
It was
see
a good
that.
experience. But if I don't draw this, if I don't explore it, if I
Mm-hmm.
don't remote view the vehicle, then it's just like a fading memory.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the benefit. I have the photograph, but it doesn't give you the feeling, the
Right.
feeling of what the heck, people on the beach and this UFO's over top of them. What the heck, So we have to, what the heck? Anyways,
All right.
that was a shared experience, daylight, and doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's probably because you and her are open to all possibilities, and
I
sometimes
wonder,
people just focus on what they're doing.
I think so, and I think maybe because it's not part of their consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
not part of their reality,
Yeah.
they just wipe it away, I think.
Yeah.
So this is a painting I did, many, many, many years ago, and you can even see there I was working in grids. So one of my favorite things to do is to imagine a cross section of a
Uh-huh.
UFO, and well, what's the guts look like? So this is a cross section of a UFO. I have photographs. It took me a long time to figure out actually what this was, because originally I had it standing up, but actually it flies this way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like this energy rings around it. Um, and I call it Blinky. That's my nickname for that particular model of UFO, Blinky, because it has this blinking pattern. And people all around the world have seen this. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm describing here is like in the center of the vehicle is like a glass tube. And the glass tube has energy and it goes through a system and it creates its own energy. And within the perimeter, if you see these blue spaces that I
Mm-hmm.
made, is liquid, but it's lighter than water. So
Hmm.
it's creating its own energy. I put these two little figures here to give you a sense of scale.
Okay.
So it's a cross section. But yeah, I was really excited to do this. It took me a long time to do too, in oil paint, just till I was happy with what I think I saw. What
Mm-hmm.
I This is what I think I saw, and then I put it on canvas, and then it goes in a cupboard somewhere. And so Glenda comes. Can you show us some exoconscious art? Yeah, thank you. The next photo.
Yes. It's going. There it goes. Slowly. There it is.
Okay, another oil painting. I did a lot of these series. Again, in the personal collection, it's not, it's again dealing with dimensional. And like I was thinking, if these UFOs are coming from outer space,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not terrestrial, then how are they accomplishing it? Right? How do they
Mm-hmm.
get? So I came up with a theory of dimensions, but how do you access them? And so, like, you don't fly around in outer space like this. No, 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 no. You like jump.
Right.
You jump. You jump. So I'm trying to describe this jump where you go through some kind of portal and you want to hit the other one, right? But there's all kinds of action around there because not just anybody can go through. So there's like portal real estate. People, beings are, manning it. So you got to know the special password. This is about an artist's imagination. But I really like the effect. And I think I was, pretty happy trying to explore that dilemma. Like, how do they? It's not A to C. It's like A, B, C. So you skip, and artists do that all the time. We're great
Mm-hmm.
problem solvers. We go A to D.
Mm-hmm.
We skip all that middle stuff. So yeah, yeah, I like that one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just yeah.
And the next one, oh, interesting.
So I take a lot of photographs of orbs, but I used to see them way more before I took photographs. And so this is kind of like a doodle.
Mm-hmm.
I say, well, this type of orb is more mechanical. This type of orb is more spiritual. This type of orb. I've identified 18 different types of orbs just from my experiences and photographs. And I have a library of photographs and videos that someday I'll go through them. So this is what I imagined. You could go to the next one. Okay, so this is the drawing was like done years ago. Like it's in my sketchbook is like. So this is a recent orb photo. The one on the top left is the actual photo.
Okay.
Or orb in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So I reversed the photo so I could get more detail.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I started playing around and playing around. And said, okay, I'm going to do an orb drawing of this. And it was surprisingly similar.
Yes.
I think I got it down pat from the photo to the drawing. So then I got to get my remote viewing skills in there. What's it really look like, right?
Right.
And so it really does look mechanical to me,
Mm-hmm.
which looks very similar to my sketch I had done years and years ago.
Right.
So this particular orb is in the sky. It's fascinating. It has Como, if you can imagine. The first time I really noticed it, it was hanging out under a cloud and it looked like a star. And I looked at it and I said, stars don't hang out under clouds.
No.
Well, then it started moving. So, pardon me. It started moving, and that's when I realized that it was conscious, that I could talk to it. And so I call this particular type of orb watchers. I've had to nickname everything. So these particular orbs, they just kind of hang around, fly by. You can call them in. You can talk to them. They'll change patterns. I check satellite apps to make sure I'm not videotaping a satellite or the what's that space center. That can look pretty spectacular when it was a spy, right?
Right.
So that's one technique I suggest to people if they're taking these kind of photographs, that you can go Google International Space Center and they'll tell you exactly when it's zooming by and stuff like that. So it's learning to discern
Right.
is
Right.
something that I mean, there's people all around the world getting just fabulous photos, and we're all just going, whoa. We're not really sure, but I think bit by bit we can find out more. So
Yes.
I think this particular orb, it presents as a star.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in the night sky, you won't spot it unless
Right.
it moves.
Right.
Unless it moves. It's the only time that you can say that's not a star. But I got to the point where I can go out and talk to them and say, what are you doing? Who are you? And like all these questions. I get zero answers. But they're
Well, you
painted.
never know. One time you may get an answer. So
Yeah,
worth
so
trying.
the star, in the center kind of looks camera-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the actual light could be emitting because it really looks like a star.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be, I don't know, could be anything, right?
Could be anything. It's very good picture though. Definitely.
Yeah, I like the drawing. I like the final
Yes. The
result.
drawing definitely shows in detail the picture.
Right.
Especially the reversed photo.
Yeah.
That is very detailed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And this is, the benefit of our skills. Like we can dig deeper and deeper and try to get more details if we're inclined. So I love this painting. I did a whole bunch of them, and they always look like planets. Oil painting. But this is the type of orb that I experience. And they're only 2 inches big. And they're fire. They're fire. They're round, moving flames. Really spectacular. So I tried to capture that in paint. And I don't know. I think they always end up turning like a planet. But round is round. I really tried to capture the movement and the different textures of it, and it's just my favorite orbs at all. And yeah, the first time I encountered those, I was praying to God and I was asking for healing, right? And these two orbs popped into my living room out of nowhere, right above my couch. They went down my couch, they went across the seat, and they're in my house. And I was like, thinking, maybe I needed to go to the psych ward or something.
Well, you did ask.
No, dude,
You did ask for healing.
I did ask for healing. So, and it's a very long story, but even my cat was interacting with these. And they hung around for a couple of weeks. And then they actually, I got to a point where I said, okay, I have photographs of. I said, if you're real, I got my covers over my head. I'm like, what the heck? I said, if you're real, I just sat up in my bed and put my hands out. Go onto my hands. That's what I said to them. I didn't expect that they would go into my body, so they went right onto my hands and into my body.
Well,
So
that's how they went to heal you.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Yeah. You go to the next one. So I love orbs.
All
Angels.
right.
Going to angels.
Let's see those. Ooh.
So I've been painting angels probably my whole life. And I actually had an artist intervention where my brother and my husband and a bunch of my artist friends said, stop painting angels. I guess they're not commercial. I didn't really care about that part. But I just love them. I just love angels. So this is one on her knees, and it always seems to be like kind of in a portal setting. I noticed that when I was putting this together, I was like, oh yeah, there's another one. Oh yeah, there's like a common theme I've been doing. So yeah, that one's just an angel on her knees.
That's how they could travel, right?
Yeah.
The portal is right there, and they could just go wherever they need to go.
Through another Stargate or dimension, or who knows? Yeah.
Or even from this side of Earth to the other side of Earth.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. You can go to the next one. I threw in a bunch of angels because I really like them. So.
All right. Let's see. Here we go. Come on. Here we go.
Okay. So this is another oil painting, maybe 10 years ago. But nice. I saw this angel on another planet, and the planet has 2 stars, 2 suns. And so it's nice and toasty warm there. And so she's just looking off in the horizon. And even then I was self-conscious about my paranormal life or whatever. It's always like, as an artist, kind of trying to hide it. So these they're not really public art. And so like I hid the sun, it's there, but I kind of meshed it out a little bit so it wasn't so obvious, because these concepts are not welcomed by normies.
Yeah.
I found, right? So I don't want to rock anybody's world. I just want to have fun. So this is my angel in the 5th dimension. It's, oil paint.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
I love it. Yeah.
And the detail on the wings there. That I love.
Yeah. You can go next one.
Mm-hmm.
So in the fifth dimension, myself in the fifth dimension, I have a body. I live on a planet with 2 suns. I really like that. So here again, light and sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably 20 years ago, this painting. And so again, we're seeing that circular vortex thing again. It's a
Mm-hmm.
common thing with my art. And sound. So it was about light and sound, this particular painting, Angel with the flute. She's pretty exotic looking.
Yes.
And yeah, I think she's pretty.
Very.
Getting that movement in. Yeah.
Uh,
You go to the next one.
yeah, there it is.
Okay. So this is more recent, right? You can kind of see how I've evolved over the
Mm-hmm.
years. And so now we have, I have an iPad with Procreate. So you could do, I really like it because it's similar to oil paint in the process that you work in layers.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start with the oil painting, it can take me up to a year to complete. I tend to do 5 foot by 4 foot paintings too, so that's another good reason.
Okay.
But you're doing layering and layering of color, and with Procreate, I found I can do that similar technique, and it's a lot more flexibility, in your drawing, you know. So I think it's a really new, great way for artists.
Mm-hmm.
The only challenge I have with it is that it's deletable,
Mm.
where an oil painting is 3D. We know oil paintings last centuries,
Yeah.
and that's another reason why I shy away from acrylic, because acrylic paint is plastic, and
Mm.
on a molecular level, it's always spinning, spinning, spinning. So if you put 2 acrylic paintings together, face to face, they weld
Oh.
in a very short time, like
Hmm.
within minutes. So at the molecular level, they're spinning.
Mm.
So I always wonder if, like 100 years from now, that spinning will make the painting great off the canvas, So I'll stick with the oils. But the digital drawing painting programs are pretty fascinating. I've been trying a lot of different ones, and I like the effect. I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It,
So
it
it's
gives
just
you a
a
new media to try to bring those experiences out. So.
yeah. But my voice is always pretty consistent. So
Mm-hmm.
this is exciting painting. Um, so I go on these consciousness travel journeys, and I follow the water. I can follow water anywhere. So I followed the water deep into some cave. And so I'm sitting here in this cave, looking out at everybody saying, "Here, you can come out this way by the water, by the water." This is how you get out. And then all these people are coming towards me. They want to get out. So, but it's fun being an artist, you know?
It is. If you could bring everything that goes in your mind and how you see them
hmm
into a actual canvas or computer or whatever, but you still are able to bring it out. That's beautiful.
Yeah, what I try to do is evoke a feeling in the viewer. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, these are personal collection. This is just
Right.
fun stuff for me, but I'll often take something like this and work on it more and create a large canvas out of that. So
Mm.
these the digital painting is quicker, um, but it doesn't. I don't know. I like it and I don't, but I like the feeling. Like the off into the distance, and
Mm-hmm.
you can sense the cave and almost like a church, and it's like, come here, this is where you get out. So I've done series and series of I really sense that there's a whole refugee system, a whole refugee people or entities, beings that are trapped within a dimension.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get that feeling. So I've done a lot of paintings related to that. There's like, so it's like I've stepped into their space now.
Right.
So it's kind of
Wonderful.
fun. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You go next one.
Mm-hmm.
Consciousness, exoconsciousness.
Yes. Here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
I hope I'm not going too fast.
No, you're perfect.
Okay, I have shown this picture. Grant Cameron did an interview many years ago. I showed him this picture, and so in consciousness travel, I go within the dimensions, and I try. I
Mhm.
work really hard to do that and learn how to do that. And the fourth dimension is one section I avoid. I'm really not interested in there. It is so busy. There's so many symbols. There's so many. It's a mash of stuff. And it's really hard to discern what's going on. When I was 18, I was given a book, Journeys Out of the Body.
Mhm.
And it was talking about, astral travel and leaving the body and how it's so easy and it's spontaneous and it's true, if you want to try.
Right.
And so what this painting represents is a reptilian and a Draco. Now they try.
Mm.
Now the Dracos, in my opinion, are quite superior minded, and so they won't drive their own orb through the
Right.
dimensions. No, no, no. They need someone to do that. And he likes jewelry. Nobody to mess with. If you ever run into a reptilian or Draco in astro or in 3D, my advice is to stand up straight, show no fear, even if your heart's pattering away. Stand up straight and look them in the eye, because they love and feed off fear.
Mhm.
Don't give them that.
Yep.
And if you make yourself, I mean, I'm a little person, but puff up your chest, you're not going to take it. So
Right.
yeah. So the reptilian, the black screen that he's holding, is quite amazing. They could go in there and pull anything out. So the fourth dimension is not something I really want to explore, because there's characters like this there. And it's good to know
Mhm.
that the possibility of these are here. Like Stewie, pretty powerful.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's an oil painting. It's just, I did it really fast.
It's
It's
still
at
a great
that
job.
the orb cross section. I'm always into that cross section. What's behind the, yeah? You can go to the next one.
Uh, ooh.
Yeah. So this is fun. The other oil painting, maybe 8-9 years ago. So I guess I'm quite consistent in my portal thing, but I could just imagine what would it be like on another planet
Mm.
where we didn't need vehicles, we didn't need, you know, electric grids and stuff like that, and would we live in harmony with the wildlife? So I have this girl riding a butterfly over street landscape or city landscape. It's just something fun, something,
Mhm.
you can draw a tree or you can explore your imagination. So I'm lucky I'm a good drawer. I'm lucky because see, it's still, these take time, this kind of painting develops, because you're starting with nothing. Literally, I just have an idea. I
Mhm.
want to have a butterfly and I want a girl riding a butterfly. And that's how I start, right? It's then how to make it into a composition, how to blah, blah, blah. Um, private
Well,
collection.
you're channeling a beautiful painting. That's what you're
I
doing.
think it is. Yeah, beautiful butterfly. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I would love it. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, so here again at grids. And so I made contact with this guardian. And so they're not fully formed. And like orbs, I think they're only portions of a, like some of them are portions of another being's consciousness. They literally cannot be in our frequency, in our environment, but they can send just like portions of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this guardian, is drawing. This is Procreate. So this came through, and she was showing me that it takes two, that one person can't do. It takes male and female. It does take electric and magnetic. So whatever it means,
Right.
that was the message. And so it's kind of like, I have beings come through a portal. One time I had a portal in my in my bedroom wall, and I
Oh
thought
boy.
I thought it would try to go through. I'm taking a video of this being throwing orbs at me. And I said, "You want me to go through? You want me to go through?" I tried. I got a big black eye. I got the biggest shiner you can imagine. So then I realized that, don't try to do things like that in 3D. Yeah. You send a portion of your consciousness like that cube.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That was quite an experience. And I had to walk around. What happened to you? Oh, wow, there was this portal. So everybody lectures me, don't go in them. But don't you think why wouldn't you? Like if you see it,
I agree. I'm one of those curious creatures.
yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
Gemini, so I look at everything and see all the possibilities. So I, like you, I would probably try to go right through. So
Yeah, I tried. One
go.
time I did a CE5 with my mentor, Deborah Warren, no, back, and there was like this portal in the entrance of the forest, and I thought, oh, I go running towards it. And my friend's going, don't go, sit down. And I run towards it. I got pushed down, and I couldn't move my arms and legs. And I was rolling around the ground. So
Yes, they were probably saying you should not be there either.
yeah, but they don't have this. If you don't try, you don't know, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
All right.
So, in the beginning of COVID, I got into painting mandalas,
Mm-hmm.
and now after all this time, I realized I was channeling. At the time of creating them, I was only interested in making new colors. I wanted to make new colors. So I thought if I put color on top of color on top of color, then it will glow a different color.
Mm-hmm.
Because our eyesight is so limited, one, we're really seeing the blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, red spectrum. Birds, they have 4 cones in their eyes, so everything's psychedelic in their world, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was trying to play around with. But then I realized now all my mandalas, and I made dozens of them, I never had any other ideas except for color. So I just started in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't worry about pattern. I never had that in my mind at all. So each one's different. And now looking back, I realize they were channeled,
Uh-huh.
geometric. So this is a oil, but you could just see like the dots on the dots on the dots. So I was like many, many hours. And then I would go, oh, I need to wash this with gold. And yeah,
It's
this
beautiful.
it is. And it looks great on my wall. I mean, yeah. So this is another example. So literally, I took drill bits,
Mhm.
drills bits, and I use those as stamps. So I dipped my drill into the paint, and then I would put it on the canvas. And
Oh.
I never had an idea of design. I only wanted color. That was the only thing. And so now when I look back at them, I go, whoa, that really is channeled geometric shapes. And they're
Mhm.
all different. Everyone's different. So,
A
but
lot
it
of
was a lot
energy
of
coming out
fun.
of them. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of energy coming out of them. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
there is. Yeah. And a lot of fun. And I love the imperfections because it's hand done. You know,
Mm,
if I did this technique with Procreate, with the digital software program, it would be perfect,
right.
right?
But it
So
is perfect. It's the way it's supposed to be.
yeah, it is the way it is. But I mean, the dots aren't perfectly round, or that's what I mean. But yeah, if I did it in Procreate, then I could change the color spectrum. I could do all kinds of things with it. But this is how I fill my time. I listen to Space Out Radio and May Medellis. Yes. So what
Now,
do
what
they
would
look like? What do
ooh.
they look like? Besides our angels. So this
Okay.
is this, this is a Procreate in painting I did of an Anahazi Lyran elder.
Mm,
And I just love her. So very powerful. But then again, it's not in our dimension that this kind of feeling or sense that I get to
right.
create this image. So
Well,
I really
again, you
like it.
channeled it. You asked to see, and that's how you see. Some
That's
people
right.
can see it right through their third eye, through their naked eye. You see it through your art.
Yeah.
So,
So it's a friendly Lyran.
yes.
We don't see much Lyrans.
No, no, we
No,
don't.
we don't. We don't see any. So this is a dimensional being.
Mhm.
Just what do they look like? So I mean, could look like that. I don't know. I love the imperfections. I mean, this kind of painting probably took me, a couple evenings.
Uh-huh.
And the feeling, you have to sort through because you're presenting something that's not mainstream, right?
Mhm.
Not acceptable yet.
Ah,
And I don't think people really are interested in this kind of imagery.
I think people are. They're just like you said. They're a little afraid. They have
Yeah,
fear. Who knows how many people have seen this being
true.
and just won't admit it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, we look at our ancient history even.
Yeah,
Blue
exactly.
blue-skinned beings lived on the earth,
Mhm.
even ruled Egypt for a short time. So, um, where do they live? Do they are in our dimension? See, being an artist, you just like have all these questions. But I think it's a pretty painting. I think
Yes,
it's
it
pretty.
is. It definitely is.
Okay, so now we're looking at a whole new, brand new technique that I'm doing.
Okay.
But and this I'm going to caution people because I use AI. I've been experimenting with different software programs,
Right,
different
right.
AI, and I learned that AI technology is actually interfacing with my consciousness.
Mm,
And so this image, it took a day, I would say, to
okay.
create because you put the information in. And then it whizzes and whirls and blah blah blah, and it gives you something. You go, no, that's not what I want. And but I could actually feel there was some kind of technological interface there, which I did find pleasant.
Mhm.
And maybe more sensitive people are going to sense it than
Right.
others. But so this is the end result of this experiment, and I present to you a AI generated mantis.
Very good. Very good.
And it's interesting how AI picked up on my style.
Mm-hmm.
The grids, and yeah, it was kind of shocking. But is this a mantis? Is it an angel? I mean, we got a whole host of characters we just know very little about, but we should know about them
Mm-hmm.
because
Well,
it's
hopefully soon
real.
we'll get a lot
Yeah,
more information.
yeah.
Okay.
So here's a tall white, and oh, I got to share this. This oh, I can't. My girlfriend, when I was doing a drawing class for experiencers, did a, a drawing of a tall white, very similar to this.
Mm.
And I think she saw one. So, I mean, this is polished. This is what people want to see, I think. I'm not sure. Um, is it an angel? You know,
And
is it terrestrial? There's
angels
so
don't
many.
exactly appear. The reality isn't exactly as those pictures and those drawings that go around all over the place.
Right, exactly.
They do look a bit different, and
Mhm.
usually the reason they appear to us with the wings and all that is to make sure that we don't have fear of them.
Well, I think our perception is that we see wings, but it's actually light energy
Yeah.
that presents, and our eyes, like we look and we make a lot of assumptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one exercise I tell people to try. Take your cell phone when you go out in the morning. Just take 10 random photos. Don't
Right.
even think about it. Just take 10 random photos every day for a week. Don't review those photos till you go to bed. And you're looking at them, you're in a relaxed state. Your subconscious mind is talking to you all the time and will reveal what it sees in your
Mm-hmm.
photos. I saw the most fabulous orbs, and like they're there
Yeah.
that we we sense them, but we don't pay attention. We write it off. So
Okay.
this little camera exercise is really for yourself to,
Mm-hmm.
to notice what your subconscious is noticing and trying to get you to see. So that's a kind of a fun exercise for sure. Next. Pardon me.
All right.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go.
Here's my friend.
Ah,
So this is
Andrea.
a Andrea Perrin. Her father, Roger, asked me to do a portrait of her. And so it's hanging
Nice.
up in their house. And so, yeah, that's the more serious type of artwork I do, portraits. And so I love doing commissions because I
Mm-hmm.
love tapping into someone else's imagination and trying to describe what they're seeing. So that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of fun. Um, my experiencer classes, I've tried working with non-experiencers and they just don't get it. I really, I really am only interested in working with experiencers. We have our own vocabulary. We have our own set of challenges. And the more we connect, the
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable we are going to be with our experiences. Because mainly we're off this small segment of population. We're really vulnerable and nobody wants to talk to us. That's what I noticed. So
Well, people just don't understand unless they experience something, right? It's like anything in the world. If before
mhm.
everybody thought that, you know, there was only one place, that was it. That was the whole world. And, they didn't realize that there was a lot more to the earth than just the place that they lived in. Because
Sure.
so
I can relate to that. I mean, I going to church as a kid, I thought the world started 2,000 years ago.
I think we all did when we were young kids, okay? that was the only one that probably that I know that got kicked out of Sunday school.
Really?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
here's the deal, okay? You're not supposed to have relations with anybody that your family with, and but they only talked about Adam and Eve and their
oh,
kids and their grandkids, and I'm like, wait a second now, just asking for
yeah.
a question. So they said that I just have to believe and blind faith. I'm like, no, this curious girl just doesn't go there. I believe there is a higher power, but I don't believe that it's exactly as people say it.
No, I think everybody's perception is, I mean, you
Right.
could, I was mile zero, and there was two great big huge fire orbs in the sky,
Mhm.
UFOs, and there was a whole crowd of us. And then everybody started leaving. And my friend that was with me hit me on the shoulder and said, let's go. I said, no, I want to watch the UFOs. And he said, forget about it. And that's when I realized what happened to that whole crowd.
Wow.
They chose to forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So we're almost out of time. So speak to us a little bit about the book.
Making contact with orbs
Yes.
is it has 60 different photos that I've
Mhm.
taken of orbs in my house, in my outside, and was really I was pressured by Jordan Maxwell. He came here in spirit, and he said, "You got to get those photos out. You got to publish your photos." So it was really so yeah. I have a lot of YouTube orb photos, and there's a couple of other orb photographers. We're thinking of working together and trying to help educate people. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Nice.
you could go to have a lot of YouTube videos too, little ones, just for fun.
So I'm going to put up your website again so people can find you. And, if they're experiencers also, so they can, share their experience and never know, they may decide to heal by doing art because by letting it out, you kind of get a
It
better
is, it
understanding.
is, it is empowering because when
Yes.
you have a experience, you're going through it in your mind over and over and over and trying not to forget any detail. If
Mm-hmm.
you draw an image that represents that experience, you know exactly everything on what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And it relieves your mind of having to, you know, go in that circle. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're almost out of time. I do appreciate you coming, April.
Oh, thank you for inviting
And
me, Glenda.
oh, please, anytime, come back and show us more. They were all perfect in my book, perfect pictures.
Thank you.
Even those that you said that were not perfect, to me they were because they shared some very intense energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some was very healing, some was very empowering. Like you could feel the power behind them. So, all right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, April. And
Thank
as
you.
always, many blessings. And we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.